The first time we will be seeing Dewalt participate in Cosmonarchy. And its horizontal spawns along the top half of the map. Dewalt is our Palatinate Blue Protoss. Bonyth, our dark green Protoss. Top left, top right. Well, let's see what they end up doing. That's the sound.
Live from my bathtub.
There you go. We're from Lucky Noob's bathtub. Shout out his bathtub. Thank you for the dono, sir. Appreciate it. No surprises here that Bonyth will open Gateway, but what is Dewalt thinking? He's got a lot of money. He's got a lot of cash. Is he going to try Nexus first? That doesn't seem right. Is he doing a StarCraft 1 build order? Is he going to do a pylon opener? I mean, the Nexus provides a power field. Oh my god, he's actually going to open Nexus. Oh, wow. Okay, Bonyth, what are you going to do? Are you going to scout on a 4-spawn map with Cosmonarchy's slower workers than StarCraft 1's? Do you dare? Do you dare? I mean, what a baller move from Dewalt to open with that. Okay, we're already rewriting the history books here. We're already trying to figure out what are we going to do about this situation, because it is going to be a 2-gate with a Hierophant scout. And there's nothing that's going to be able to defend this. This could fall so flat in about a minute's time. Waiting with bated breath, but Bonyth is going to make us wait a little bit longer. If this had been like a Legionnaire opener, he starts scouting everything out, seeing what's up, that could be really deadly. But Dewalt, Gateway into Lattice after his Nexus. Okay. All right, and this is the fateful choice. Does Bonyth go left or does he go? He goes down. He is going to the bottom right. Oh, the humanity. Well, there's none of that here. Oh, the Protoss sanity. 2-gate Lattice, Nexus. I can't believe it. He's gonna get away with it. The rat, the man. What a bold choice. So it's going to be a 2-Drac idle gateways. We're going to pop that Nexus down here for Sir Bonyth. And he's going to think, yeah, this is a pretty reasonable Nexus. 230 Nexus. We'll take that. Meanwhile, Dewalt already getting his Warden up. Vassal for scouting. We've got Ecclesiasts coming behind Bonyth. All right.
Is that a fucking
All right. Appreciate the follow, Adel. SC123, yeah. How about 101? Apparently, this is Protoss 101 in any game. Nexus first, doesn't matter. The Hierophant will end up finding... When he walks in here, and there's another Hierophant on the other side to slow him down. Vassal is scouting. Doesn't really see much. You can surmise 2-gate from that. The Warden zones him away. He doesn't even chance the Hierophant. Okay. It's going to be a pretty heavy focus on Striders here for Bonyth. He's rounding up his extra Dracodons. His attempt is to bust, and he's made the Ecclesiasts as anti-melee in case Dewalt has gone for Zealots, which did get marked as his favorite unit when he was signing up for it. Ardent Authority at the natural, likely for Emergency a Cantor. That's the Reaver equivalent. His Hierophant's tagged, though. That's a really important unit. When they have that red overlay, they blow up and give attack speed to the enemy. So you really got to watch out for that. Yeah, just like that. Now you're going to see Dewalt's army. Well, it would have stuck around a little bit longer, but instead he tags his own. So that was Bonyth's Hierophant slowing down Dewalt's. He's got another one in reserve. Our Russian Protoss not out of this yet. Bulwark going to finish up shortly. In addition to providing static detection, that will also give you a nice little shield sustain. And yes, I did say that right. The Warden does not provide static detection, the Photon Cannon equivalent. You need specifically the Bulwark. Expanding out his build radius, because true StarCraft 1 pro players will always make pylons. And I hope that our homegrown Cosmonarchs learn from that. Pylons are important. Embassy down here for Bonyth. Extra Warden for his own little edification. Warden Bulwark. Yeah, okay, they're kind of mirroring each other's defensive network. We'll see if the Ardent Authority is going to go ahead and make anything in particular. Idols, Hierophants, a Gateway. So one thing I'm noticing, okay, finally we have some tech here from Mr. Dewalt. It's going to be a Grand Library and a Gateway. to follow it up. So definitely adding more chaff production, right? We're talking 4 gate, 1 lattice. Let me also point out, our worker production is still advanced for Dewalt, but he's not going into an extra third base anytime soon, right? Faster third base. Bonyth going to go for the Witness. One of the things that's, I think, worthwhile here... Okay, we're getting some more tech development from Bonyth as well. We'll talk about that in a second. He's gone for these idols, but they do struggle versus armor, and he has no manifold. So that's something you can make from the lattice, that when it attacks, it gives armor pen to all units around it. Help you ignore that armor. So we'll see what he wants to do out of the lattice, if it's ever anything other than the initial scout, vassal, and all of those idols. A Witness is now leaving the building here for Bonyth, and he's going for an Envoy, which is our shuttle equivalent. He has a Positron in 2. A second one on the way, I should say. But what is he going to plan on dropping here? Both players going to go ahead and drop their Pylon. I love the Pylon before the Nexus. It's so StarCraft 1 coded, and is it any surprise? Now, the Bulwark does provide detection, and Bonyth should know that. He should remember that. In fact, he actually requested, or argued for, I should say. He successfully argued his point, in my opinion, that static detection should have more vision range, more detection range, as mobile detection is obviously mobile, so you don't have to worry about it as much. So he almost got hoisted by his own petard in a funny way, because that is active on this patch. Very nice army there for Dewalt. You can see Bonyth set up in a concave. His Positrons have been excarred at the little extremity of his base, and they can do an unforgettable amount of damage to workers, especially with this matrix not quite finished. Watch out. We're starting out with 21 workers, and we are dropping them like flies. So many going down. That's instantaneously going to give Bonyth the worker advantage. And he'll scoop them up afterwards. So that was probably something that Dewalt hadn't seen. Now, this isn't really like when you get an Acantor or a Reaver loose in your enemy's mineral line in PvP. Dewalt can come back from this deficit. It's not that difficult for him to do so. He's going to throw his Golem into the sort of right to the Wolves, and the Zealots are going to try to engage upon these Striders. This isn't really the most elegant fight from Dewalt, but he is going to go ahead and try to use his manifolds to boost the armor pen of those idols. They're kind of off to the side. That red sparkle overlay was also working. That's the attack speed overlay, but now a Pariah is hitting. This is a very powerful crowd control unit that has a lot of durability as well, and it's not really being focused down. Not quite in range of the Bulwark either to get that shield sustain. It does feel like Dewalt is maybe over-expecting. After losing so many workers, he thought he would be really down in the dumps, but look, he's almost caught back up already, yet his army is what is in question now. So Bonyth forces an engagement, needs all hands on deck. It doesn't look like this Pariah is going to stick it out, but it will give you that extra little attack speed force afterwards, and that is going to allow these Striders, these Draconids, our Dragoon equivalents, to just absolutely run roughshod over what Dewalt has. He's got a couple more reinforcements coming, and that'll be it. However, we do have that extra base set up. It's not actually done yet for Bonyth. That's one of the reasons why the worker production has started to favor Dewalt. He's caught back up there. A Herald, a very important unit for making engagements happen. You saw that Scribe go down and then speed up the allies. If you die in the presence of a Herald, and you're an ally of the Heralds anyway, you will speed up your allies as part of your last will and testament kind of vibe. So we'll see. Still being kind of cowed in, and it does look like Bonyth wants to take a stab down here, making himself some flying workers, the artisans. They don't build structures, but they harvest resources. We'll see what he wants to do with that. An engram being warped in behind, that can be sniped almost immediately. However, it does feel like Bonyth knows he's going to get crunched on by whatever Dewalt has for an army, which honestly isn't that much. Bonyth has to concede. He feels like he can't come back from losing that base. Little did he know, oh, Dewalt concedes, but Bonyth had that third base not even mining yet. And that still ends up being the first game in favor of Bonyth. Dewalt not able to make it through. And that's gonna be a stinger. That's gonna sting a little bit there for Dewalt if he ever ends up watching that one back. He's gonna say, wait, I wasn't actually that far behind. I lost those workers, but it didn't even really mean anything. I could have just stuck it out and done it from there. Yeah, it turns out. Ladies and gentlemen, we are getting into our next matchup. It's Demilune, a port of Overwatch. And we have Bonyth in the bottom right. He is our electric orange Protoss. And Dewalt in the top left is our Ultramarine, but it was Zephyr Protoss. And just like that, the color guesses are out. I have failed. I am the Emperor on the Golden Throne, doing his damnedest to defend against the gods of chaos. However, because I guessed the colors wrong, I'm sure this match will be absolutely deranged. Gateway for both players, though, so far it's not starting out that way. No red. There's red in your username, Jack. You can't lie like that. You're red. By the way, I have had my coffee today. I just wanted to let you guys know that. Coffee is pretty good. Pretty good thing. Two gates for both players. They tried to do a very similar expand build, right? It was 2-gate expand for both of them. Bonyth has kind of been playing the same style the whole game. I know Dewalt hasn't, like, spent time watching the replay because he just joins the lobby immediately. So, I don't know. I don't know about that one. But it will be those Hierophants. Our Protoss players love the Hierophants. Neblime would smile upon this series. Peason says he's a believer. Oh man, this is still contested. People keep deciding. You know, they're having a hard time betting on this series. Let's go Dewalt, says Peason. Hell yeah. Got the 2 gates. Expand coming from Dewalt. He just goes ahead and... Yeah, I see what he's doing differently. So it's the Hierophant double Drac, double Ecclesiast, then expand, I think. Or I guess it's double Drac into expand. But Dewalt does have his expand up a little bit faster. So... One thing Dewalt's doing right now that I'm not sure about Bonyth. Yeah, so he's triple saturated his gas, but you actually want your third worker on the ridge. It's a little bit more efficient. It doesn't equate to too much, but, you know, Bonyth knows that. So the expansions are a little bit out of sync in terms of timing, but it's maybe by like 30 seconds or something. It's not that much. Now this map is a little bit harder to make those super early game rushes work, even if you end up punishing your opponent with the Hierophant picks. And the answer can be tricky to divine in the middle of the fight because of the slow. You might think, oh man, I just need to get the hell out of dodge. But what he could have done, Bonyth, in that last game, is as he was retreating with his slowed Hierophant, he had his Striders come up, which was a good move, right? The Dracodons came up to support. He could have just started targeting down the enemy Hierophant and then disengaged, right? Tried his best to sort of force Dewalt to sort of blink instead of continuing on the push. All right, so this equates to about 1 worker advantage here for Dewalt. It's not that much, as mentioned. It was even less than 30 seconds, actually, as far as the difference goes. And we do have an Ardent Authority for Bonyth again. If he ends up going Embassy, we will suspect the Positron drop. That, from Bonyth's POV, probably got him ahead. In actuality, it just made him even from the earlier expand from Dewalt. That was all the way back on Tesseract, game 1. And from Dewalt's perspective, it probably also got Bonyth ahead, but he had no idea that he was so far ahead from the early game. Nexus first not being punished. So it's interesting. We'll see how it goes. There's the Embassy, and we have some Zealots filtering in, finally. Good to see those. People asking for Legionnaires in the chat as well. I mean, at least they're on your screen, you know? They're the icons for the behind the Bonyth and Dewalt names on the overlay. That's that's the best I can do right now, unfortunately. Dewalt's going Rogue Gallery. So the significance of this is that it does produce Kabbalists. In the series that I sent him for study, which I don't know if is the only one that he made, that he ended up watching, the Kabbalist did play a pivotal factor in that Protoss versus Protoss. So it's our version of the Dark Templar. It doesn't remain cloaked when attacking. It decloaks when it attacks, but if you break cloak on it to attack, which you have to in order to attack in the first place, every time it breaks cloak, it gains 20 extra damage. And it's only for the first attack, so it's like a temporary buff. You kind of want to just slide in, slide out kind of thing. By the way, Dewalt has a lot of Hierophants, which don't do a lot of damage. Comparatively, the army that we see in terms of the Strider count is 4 to Bonyth's 6, and he's making 2 more. So Dracodons are going to be much heavier hitters, but I could see a world where the Hierophants end up kind of bopping them. Now, The Kabbalist is here, but so too is the Witness, so the first one is going to get bopped immediately. I also don't know if Dewalt knows how the Kabbalist works now, either. With his own Witness on the way, you can tell that he knows exactly where to look for it. It is in the embassy. Don't have upgrades in Cosmonarchy, and so he ends up just retreating, which I feel mixed about. If you were going to retreat your army all the way back, the question is, like, what is your opponent then going to do? You're giving your opponent a lot of map control then, is what it feels like. So Bonyth's frustration stage is done. He's making his Pariah. Positron coming out. Positron number 1. You can fit 3 Drakodons in an Envoy now. That was another balance adjustment that was made at one point. Oh, he's got a second Positron, actually. First one already done, second one on the way. So he's going to do the Positron drop that he did game 1. A Crucible is starting, and that will empower the Gateway and the frustration stage here. Pariah on the way, capping his gas. This is all well and good, but he does need to watch out for the inevitable Envoy. So this pylon getting domed is great position, actually, for Dewalt. He knows where his enemy's army is, and he's going to set up a third base here, which could also get canceled. There's the Witness. Tags it with the Hierophant. It's dead. Very important stuff there. Oh, but he doesn't see the drop. It doesn't fly over where the pylon is in there. So what's his reaction time for that? He needs to get back up there with a couple of units. He pulls his workers a lot more preemptively. Losing only 3, it looks like. Maybe 2 for the gas. Very, very good reaction there. Oh, he even tags it with the Hierophant. It needs to unload now. Gets all of it. Okay, so that's a wrap. Straight back in. And remember, that the gas, delay, if you will, from that attack doesn't matter too much here for Dewalt because he's got his Aquifer. He's capped it. He doesn't know about capping the ridge just yet. You can do that as well. You can see Bonyth has done that here with his Sedent. Crucible. He scouted it from his opponent. Bonyth making a Mind Tyrant. Oh yeah, baby. We're going to get some mind control on the field. Nexus already about half done. Dewalt's going to set his up a little bit late, but he set up some defenses. Make it a little bit frustrating for Bonyth to attack in. Aquifers are the same amount of minerals as a Nexus, by the way, so they are pretty pricey. Bonyth also teching into some artisans out of his embassy. Haven't seen that just yet from anybody else. But they do return resources remotely. Big worker transfer. Oh yeah, he had a lot. Man, he's basically going to instantly saturate the minerals over here. Perfect timing there as well. Dewalt cycling over. Doesn't have a big worker transfer of his own. Does he know about the sort of saturation rules? He's a little bit more oversaturated in these bases than Bonyth is. Bonyth has remembered how the economy works, and I'm not sure Dewalt ever learned in the first place. So, not something that I always talk about, but you want to count the number of mineral fields. Its standard is 7 in mains and naturals. This one obviously has more than that. Has 10. You want to count the mineral field count and multiply by 2, and that's the minimum saturation you want on a base before you start transferring away. Your third worker on each patch is less efficient. That's how you can think about it. So, in this particular case, Bonyth can have baseline saturation of 20 over here. Witness fights, but Bonyth escapes. Oh, maybe not. Tagged. Doesn't get a chance to scout the 12 o'clock, so doesn't know about that base just yet. Mind Tyrant has chosen a Pariah as the Malefactor, and if you thought Pariahs were tanky before, when you're a Malefactor, you gain the energy bar of the Mind Tyrant as an extra bit of health. Also, more to the point, when you damage a unit, it's debuffed, and if it dies, it becomes mind-controlled after a short delay. So that's basically how the mind control stuff works here. You can start controlling a large amount of enemy armies, and oh my god, Dewalt's also made a Mind Tyrant, boys! Boys! He's chosen the wrong target. He intended to choose the Pariah, I think. He's going to need to wait for energy and then choose a new one. As you can see, it takes some channel time. A little bit of setup. Maybe he thought he could choose more than one. I don't know. Witness tries to get a look in. Destroyed by Bonyth's army. Oh, he's only got the Drakodon. He needs to, he doesn't need to turn it onto the Pariah. He could just end up having a better engagement. Setting up pretty deadly. You can see Bonyth trying to scatter. Doesn't want to be too far away with the Mind Tyrant. You can see that orange overlay means that it's not active. Yeah, there you go. Out of range of the Tyrant. Man, is this really where they want to take the fight? 2 more pariahs coming in to reinforce Bonyth's army. Artisan from Dewalt's in the bottom left scouts out what Bonyth was doing, and 6 o'clock being taken. By the way, another point of, a point of principle here, I guess you could say, is that there's a double gas base that Bonyth has, double geyser, whereas that's not the case over here. Dewalt has great saturation on the minerals. He can definitely look to double expand from this position. What is he going to do next? Bonyth still cycling back and forth. Hasn't found where his opponent is. This could be a really deadly wrap-up. It's only scribes coming that will still provide a little bit of advance warning. This is going to lead to a really critical decision. If Dewalt does not fall back, if he just leaves a few units here and then abandons, or sets up for a better attack, he can absolutely have a good time here. He can shut down the base and not lose most of his army. But Bonyth is also coming in with a very awkward push. Looks like he's stolen one of the zealots, by the way, with the Dracoden, Dracoden Malefactor. And finally, he's going to go ahead and crush through the power of this position. Bonyth making 2 more Mine Tyrants. And an Optecton has hit the field. We glossed over the Tier 4 tech, but Bonyth sure didn't. Oh, leading with the Mine Tyrant is a very, very bold move. If Bonyth was in this position on the wraparound, he absolutely could have run roughshod over the army. Poor Zealot will end up being culled. Wrapping around ahead of time once again, pulling the Witness away after. Oh, he needs to pick and choose his fights. He is coming in with a very superior engagement before Bonyth's artillery can rain death upon him. It hasn't been chosen as a Malefactor. It's being chosen right now, trading up. And now we're going to see some mind control head for Bonyth along this top flank. It looks like the bottom is breaking through as well. Look at these pariahs. They have been completely left to run amok. The front line crumbling. Dewalt has no front line left. He needs to be focusing down those enemy targets. Finally, the Mine Tyrant of Dewalt's is cut down. And I think our Russian Protoss is in a whole lot of trouble. He needs to break away. He needs to disengage. I don't know what happened to all of his pariahs, but they were liquefied by the army. An Archon as well for extra power. We only have some Zealots coming in, and Dewalt's going to concede right then and there. GG. Bonyth assembles the better composition. And he had great positioning on those bottom pariahs to change everything. I think without those pariahs on the bottom flank, that would have been so much better for Dewalt. But that is not the way that it went. And now Bonyth is up 3-1 in the set. In the top left is our Cosmic Cobalt Protoss. And he is going into the middle of the map very quickly. Interesting. I saw where that was going. And Bonyth in the bottom right, he is our Tomato Protoss. Well, he might splat here in a second. We'll see. Or he might get in Dewalt's eyes and give him some kind of rare fungal infection. Maybe they're blighted tomatoes. You never know. At least we can blame Dewalt for D6, not the game. You know what? I don't want to blame anybody when you're dealing with like a new environment, new technology. You haven't used it before. Yeah, I'm not too worried about it. I'm not too worried about it. It's all good. That was a win for Bonyth anyway, if we're looking at the game state positions, but I don't like calling it. Ooh, he's actually going to sneak in. Because, you never know if, like, Bonyth kind of flubs something because he's not as familiar with the process, then he could be in a really awkward position. Dewalt might, like, paradoxically hold. Similar to when he lost his all his workers in the natural on the first attempt. So, yeah, Beaver, this is a map by Jujic. It's an asteroid map. It's in the space platform tile set for all you mappers out there, or you homies out there that know you're mapping. And we are going to have a 2-gate proxy. So the Hierophant might move across the map. Like, if this gets scouted, it's over, right? But why would you scout inside your base? Bonyth is just going to 1-gate expand as well. So, Dewalt's only... Oh, I forgot to do a betting prediction for this one. You guys think the map will still be here? Will we still be going after this? Go ahead and place your bets anyway, but it might... I might have to end the veto as the GG is already coming through. A classic move. We are not going to see it scouted. There's even a Warden here. So Dewalt wants this to be his homestead. He's going to probably... I guess what we'll imagine here is that he's going to make a Nexus inside his opponent's base afterwards. He's putting up a bulwark for the shield battery. A Hierophant has started up. Needs a Zealot, right? That's what I would say. Tag the enemy Hierophant. Then get your Zealot on him for DPS. He's going to go Dracodon instead. I mean, with the Warden here, and once the Bulwark finishes, which because it does affect structures as well, this is really good, to be honest. He doesn't have a redundancy pylon. That's my only fear. Okay, now there's a pylon there. Now, Bonyth sees it. Bonyth sees the pylon. Hi. Trying to get back to range of the Warden. He's not quite doing that just yet. Bulwark on his side is definitely going to help him out, that's for sure. Warden now being targeted down, or attempted to be. Oh, he's after the Hierophant, though. It's dead! I don't know. The Warden does take a long time to finish. It's 35 seconds. So Bonyth is right to try to hit it because it's going to buy him so much more time. As a second gateway comes in, he's making a Matrix, which has gone underneath Dewalt's nose this whole time. There's his own Warden, targeting down the secondary one. Oh, it's kind of wasting its damage then, if that's what it's focused on. Not being changed up. Now, is Dewalt going to cancel it in time? That's the question. His own Warden finishes. It's within range of the Bulwark as well. Oh, he finally drops the Hierophant, and the other one is very low. His focus fire has been very poor, it must be said. Finally, his own Warden will go down, putting down another one to soak up more damage. Man, look at all of Bonyth's almost dead Dracodons, and he's just none of them are being focused down right now. Shared base map, yeah, that's what's going on here, dog. I don't know, man. Losing another Hierophant, but another one does end up being made. Worker count here still in favor of Bonyth, remember. He has to cancel that Warden. Rebuild the one that, one of them that was destroyed. Ooh, nice little glancing blow. It's caught. It's caught trying to path around. We've got more Dracodons being made right now. A third gateway. Dewalt has the money behind this. I can't believe what we're seeing. Neither player wanting to admit defeat just yet. And why would they? It's still anybody's match right now, it feels like. Huddling around the Matrix. His Dracodons, one of them is so low. Oh, I feel like it's dead. Yeah, it's going to get dove on immediately with a Hierophant. Ooh, Dewalt's Hierophant solo. He does have another one. More units popping in. I really feel like a Zealot or two would do a nice amount of damage here. For either side, really. Anyone want any melee? No? You just want to keep the ranged units going? Now trying to range down the gateway. Instead, they'll trade the gateway for the Warden, it seems. Now Dewalt dives forward. Immediately tagging that one. He could just break down the Matrix. So he's giving it a lot of respect, it feels like. Now a second Bulwark being made. That's going to get focused down immediately, not canceled. Third gateway. What's he want to do with that? Oh, his Hierophant. Oh, his Hierophant. It's so low. Almost goes down there. That's going to be another dead Warden. Good cancel from Dewalt. Strider count starting to get a little bit scary here on both sides, really. Where's the focus fire? They trade one Dracodon for one Dracodon, it looks like. Corpse looks a little bit less fresh because of the consumption from the Hierophant. He's got 3 Hierophants. Warden up here. The Bulwark now going to get nuked down by the Striders. But at the cost of a gateway, it looks like. Unless he wants to try to force him away. I don't think he can. Dewalt refusing to play standard. In his face, in his base. I can't believe it. By the way, this Nexus has been up for a while now. Bonyth on 2 base. And a gateway to come in and flank with some Striders. It looks like Dewalt only now noticed. I can't believe it. The gateway goes down, but he still has 2 gate. He's going to try to range that one down, and as soon as anything shows their face to the south, he dives on him. So should still be able to eliminate the production, and eventually it gets too much for Bonyth to handle. That's the idea. Pylon soaking up some damage, another Dracodon going down. He's only got 5 left. He does take out a Hierophant. Immediately dives onto this one that just finishes. Oh, it can't get anything done. His shields are down as well. That's 40% of its durability, mind you. Oh no, another Dracodon's going to die, I think. You can ignore Matrix damage. They do not do that much. Their value is in their shield sustain, and you just don't need to worry about that as much. There it goes. I think Dewalt has broken through. The scribes have to be pulled, but the gateway is in the way, and they can't get the drill off. Oh, the humanity. Terrans watch on and laugh. Zerg watch on and question. Protoss watch on in horror. Bonyth has been dismantled. This was supposed to be a rush game, and you know it's going to end before 10 minutes, but I don't know if it was as fast as Dewalt was thinking it would be. GG, and he posts a dub. We are going to go ahead and get that Gamba started and get it up and running. Ladies and gentlemen, our final match between Bonyth and Dewalt. It's been quite the hell of a ride, especially with Dewalt's creativity, I'll tell you that much. And here we go. Bonyth in the top left, our maroon Protoss. Dewalt in the bottom left. Is he back to Palatinate Blue? I feel like this is a different color than that. I'll say Palatinate Blue, though. It is. It is. That's the same color he started off with in Game 1. Does that mean he's Nexus firsting? I don't know. That's what he did Game 1. It's a possibility. There you go. I wanted to give him the answer to that. He asked it in Discord, and I don't know if he's going to be looking there. Well, it's going to be a one-gate opener. Dewalt might want to try some a Cantor style. As we call them a Cantor here, but Reaver is their old name. They do behave very differently. I don't know if Dewalt really clocked that when he was fighting them, but instead of having a Scarab that kind of winds around and does all sorts of stuff, yeah, it just wound up being a little bit different, right? So, let's see how that one develops over time. By the way, Rageslave is a port of Neo Rush Hour, but I think I'd class it more as adaptation now, because sure, you got the naturals, and you know it's fairly bog standard as far as that is concerned, but there's a lot more buildable space out here, and we go down to a low ground asteroid terrain afterwards. So we'll see what the players reveal that for us shortly, but that does have a very significant change and impact in the game. We also have stumbled upon our farther rush distance spawns. Anytime the 3 o'clock position is activated, it's a little bit easier to rush down early on. Not to say it's impossible in these configurations, just that it's a little bit harder. Now, rising up over here is the Hierophant, and we'll see Bonyths. They exchange their first shots. Look at this. He pulls the Scribe to help with the fight. Any little bit of DPS he can get. Oh, he wiggles away. Wasn't expecting that one, to be honest with you. Scribe was earmarked for bottom right, but looks like it's going to come on up and step right up and see what we can do. Does Dewalt want a forward Ardent at some point? That might be what he was thinking when he was asking about that. Got a little treasury in the middle of the map here. You can return to neutral town centers and allied town centers as it happens. Warden Bulwark, once again established. It is just going to be a one-gate tech here, I think. The embassy coming out. This looks very similar to Frozen Sylphid. Double Hierophant for Bonyth is new, though. He does usually like his Dracodons a bit more. And before the Bulwark comes out, I mean, bullying back the Hierophant there. This feels like the nameplates have been reversed. Obviously not, because Dewalt is building a pylon, so we know it's definitely Dewalt. His own Bulwark being proxied. I love it. The shields are just about back up if he wants to try and take another stab at the Hierophant. Going to have to deal a little bit of extra DPS, however. It is only 2-gate for him. It's not as all-in as it was when he was doing 3-gate on Frozen Sylphid. And there's the forward Ardent that we were talking about. I was going to just try to wail on that Bulwark. It doesn't restore its own shields. So, it's a little bit of a weakness there. And, you know, the Hierophant has a distinctive spot on it compared to the Dracodons. It's a bit easier to figure it out. Yeah, there you go. So now, there is no Bulwark for Bonyth. He's warping in another one. It will be under the protection of that Warden. But a lot more vulnerable without the Bulwark actually being here. And you can tell, yeah, Dewalt's taking my advice to heart, apparently. Did I overstep by giving him the answer in-game? I don't know. I don't know. But surely Bonyth can star sense that this is happening. He's got his own Ardent coming up, but it's going to be a while before he can activate that. Gateway. Precipice of his opponent's natural. And remember, the economy is going to be so much better here for Bonyth. With the exception... Oh, never mind. He's going to dive forward. We'll hold that thought. That dragon in the front is going to be killed, but it is at the very least traded for a Hierophant, which are very gas intensive. Third Warden. The Matrix will help out with some shields as well. Here comes the Acantor, boys. I still feel like an Envoy here could be really big for Bonyth. He could just drop the unprotected main base of Dewalt. Oh, he almost got the Scribe. That would have been nice. Didn't have the Strider count for it, unfortunately. A little bit of lackadaisical positioning here, and here comes the Acantor. Slow crawling it. Got great range. You won't be able to do much versus this thing. Can't cancel it quite as late as you can. And oh, wait, Dewalt, you're letting him just run right up on you. Oh, the Heartbreaker. Warden will go down. A Strider will go down. It's pretty cost efficient here for Dewalt. And his second Acantor is almost done, but it would have been a lot scarier if his first one was still alive. So definitely an error there. Kicking himself for that one. He's got so many more Striders. This looks dominating for Dewalt, despite the economic deficit that he's in, courtesy of Bonyth actually having an expansion. Okay, dove on yet again, but the power here is just a little bit too minimal, it feels like. The Bulwark saving his life. Now dives on his opponent's Acantor, tries to get to that high ground. It's far away from any sustain. Oh, it's out of range. The Acantor for Bonyth falling, and now the connections are big. Dewalt starting to rack up the kills. The Bulwark cannot shield sustain forever. But has Dewalt actually bit off a little bit more than he can chew with this? It takes a lot longer to break these positions than you think. There goes the Bulwark, finally taken out. Workers a little bit more even than they were before. Actually, Dewalt has the advantage, especially as those last two end up falling. A more forward pylon. This one's a bait. Nothing is actually powered. Oh, no, I tell a lie. The Warden is powered by it. But, you know, the Acantors are going to start tearing that down. Can Bonyth do anything in this situation? I think Dewalt is going to claim the last $10. Holla, holla, get dollar. The defenses are cracked wide open. A desperate bid. He's got an Artisan for anti-air for an air-based threat. Yeah, the Draconins aren't going to let you get much out of there. Trying to cycle back. Ay, ay, ay. Dewalt will take that money straight to the bank. Oh, wait, hold on. He still wipes out the Acantors. The problem is, Dewalt's got 3 Strider production. Nice little moves at the very end there, but Bonyth will hold on to this money. Dewalt's mugging him for it. And Bonyth is like, no, you've sawed off my legs, but I still won't give it up. I can't believe it, dude. Oh, that dove on right onto that Acantor. Oh, actually, not quite. Get a couple of shots. Needs to play around it. Oh, he's actually got multiple connections. I was surprised, but good dodges there. And Dewalt has a Matrix and a Bulwark coming up. Yeah, I think we can just about call this one, guys. Hats off, though. The fact that Bonyth extended it for so long. He has to GG out. Dewalt gets a little bit of a smirk for his final showing in his first Cosmonarchy show match. And he'll go home with $50. You gotta call GG's. You gotta say they did a good job. Bonyth, this is the expected outcome. Bonyth has been playing for weeks. He's been grinding out matches. He's been playing against all the races. The fact that Dewalt has basically never played is pretty awesome that he was able to score some dubs. You know what I mean? Like, I was very surprised.